if I'm gonna be an influencer, I want to influence good and not like trash. Like I'm like there's already enough trash out there.
What's up, y'all? I'm here with
Richie Deladosa.
Awesome. Welcome, man. You just got out of a performance right now, didn't you?
Yeah, it was great, huh?
How did it feel?
It was awesome. I like the music side of life. It's a different release in the art, So I was given the opportunity to do this, and I took it. I'm like, all right, cool. I want to play around.
Gotcha. And you said you performed some new stuff today?
It's just all relatively. It's a relatively new experience, so it's all kind of like new. So I don't know what to expect of a performance at this point.
Why was it new? Like, well, did you do something else before? Something different?
Well, because I don't really perform. I'm primarily an artist. I do art.
Oh.
So like I had like I was gonna do the thing. I also made the flyer, the flambeau, flaming Lamborghini one.
Okay.
But yeah, I was asked to be in the art show, and then I asked Caesar if I was allowed to perform. I'm like, because any opportunity I get, I'm like, well, let me try this.
Like, why not?
Yeah.
Okay. So primarily you're an artist, and then
For
second.
the most part.
Okay.
First, I'm Richie. At the end of the day, at the end, I'm just Richie trying to express myself in multiple ways.
Got you.
Yeah.
And it's endless, right? How we want to express ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Even down to our clothing, right?
Through your T-shirt, through a smile, like everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
By the way, I like the shirt.
Oh, dude, thank you.
Venom on spot.
Oh yeah, Hype Kia, my friend does this. It's a new brand he's starting, and it's really cool.
Yeah. Spider-Man's one of my favorite superheroes.
He's a good one.
You have a favorite superhero?
No favorites.
Okay.
I just like the loose fit of these shirts,
Okay, he's like, I just like the fit.
I like the symbiote, I don't care. Like, it's cool. I like it all.
I got you. So,
Wolverine's pretty sick.
Okay. A lot of people love Wolverine.
Yeah.
I always felt bad for his, like his love story. Like in the cartoon, like he always wanted to be with Jean Grey.
Always in love, yeah. How do you feel it translates in the movies? Like the live action one? Because there's like kind of a love triangle there too, right?
Yeah, but I feel like they never really kind of they don't go that deep into it. I don't think like the cartoons.
They need more drama, huh? They need more. They need to go there.
Please, and I
keep it interesting, man.
I know. Come on, we want to see some booty slapping,
dude. Like,
I think in the cartoon, eventually he gives up on her and goes for Storm. But I never happened in the live action.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll go for the sister instead. I'm gonna get some flavor. He's like, fuck you, G.
Weather change,
You know what he's saying? It's like, maybe it's cold in here. Let's turn the heat up. Yeah, that part. So
I digressed a lot. My bad, dude. I like to just have conversations.
Hey, no, we're good, man. We're having a good time.
Right.
We're here. It's what we're here for.
Appreciate it.
We're here. So Deladosa, that's correct.
First try, you got it.
How would you define your musical style?
It's like a no genre. Like I like the fact that we can if you want to do a rap song, you can just do a rap song. You can do any type of song. You want to do an emo song, but then you're in your kind of style that you can just do it. Mm-hmm. Music for me is just a different expression because it's so new. Like today was my first. I've never done a sound check. It's it's kind of like how my art career kind of started, and everything was just kind of I was just joking around. Everything has been just kind of oh, I'm just gonna try this, and it's all just a running joke, and then it solidifies at some point, and it starts to become more real. So it's it manifests into something that's different, and I know with art, to make it worth something, I have to make it be worth something. 100%. So when with the music, I do music, I do the visuals, I try to do everything just so I can because I get bored, but just to sell a painting, because it takes a lot for somebody to invest in a painting.
Yeah,
it's not just buying art. I think a lot of people like to invest in these things too, and because it's worth something, So yeah. I'm all about nowadays showing more worth in yourself,
Definitely,
So it's
definitely.
I think the music will make it more solid, and it'll paint the picture better, and people understand and become more invested in me as a person.
Facts.
So I really don't think about the music that often. Like I just like all the beats that I make are just really, really silly melodies and loops that I do on my phone, and I just transfer the wave file into GarageBand and just throw vocals on it and like one, two, three takes. I'm like, I don't really care how my voice sounds. It's kind of just like just for fun, you know? Because even now, it's like even if it's a fucking disaster, it's a great release. It's like it feels like cool. I got it out of my system, you know. It doesn't always happen with art. Like you'll finish it and you'll get no feedback or like it'll just people expect this like people create paintings and think they're going to sell it, and I'm like I don't do that. I just wanted to do it, you know. And then when you have expectations for things like that, you leave disappointed or you leave like super sad or like for no reason because you put that high expectation on trying to sell a painting, but like who are we? Like why would somebody be invested in just you know? It's more than just making cool stuff at the end of the day, you know. Like I don't really care if it's cool or not. Like I think what I'm doing is super uncool, and I'm like cool. I just I don't stress it so much. I'm like cool.
You're just having fun.
I'm doing it for myself.
You're having fun.
It's like
fun, right?
I can stare people dead in the fucking face, and they will just be like, they'll laugh, you know, because it's funny. Like I'm like a joker.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
like
having
a clown
fun.
dude.
You're
I'm
having
like,
fun.
I hope it translates on there, like
on
in
the
performance. Yeah, I hope it translates okay. Like I'm having a great time and just trying to.
Got you. There's two things that you said that I wanted to address, and I'm trying to remember the first thing, but one of them was definitely like performing. Music is different than art. You kind of explained it in a different way, like that's what it was. The feedback. You remember you saying something about the feedback between music and art? Can you explain a little bit about that?
So like I don't know, like you're with the you don't usually get the feedback you want with your painting because it's hard for people to understand it. So you have to sit there like and explain it all day. I'm like I like that if I make something they can kind of put the pieces together.
Okay.
I don't put if they think it's that then cool. I won't do anything because it makes them feel a certain way, you know.
Gotcha.
So it's like their interpretation of it at the end of the day.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's like and then with the music, it's just another thing. It's just like you'll get that giggle, and like that giggle is cool. Like you made somebody laugh, you know. So you're like cool, like that's all. You're doing something.
Got you. So
you know?
Do you think the translation of people understanding your intent is more understandable through music than it is through art?
I think as a whole, I don't think it's one side or the other. I think with the music, it's like I said, it's kind of new, and like the reason I started doing it because like I run my Instagram and we live in a time like it's a cool tool, like right, like using social media, that's a tool.
Yeah.
And another tool is music, and I'm like, well, I use a lot of music on my stories. I'm like, why would I make music? So why wouldn't I just? We live in a time where you can distribute your own tracks.
Yeah.
And it'll be out. You can just put it out. You don't have to have no expectations. I put out like a bunch of singles and albums just last year alone, like a dumb amount, and I was just like, because I can.
Yeah.
Like I feel it, I make it, and like I said, I do one take or two, and I'm like, cool, it's good enough. I put it out.
Who's
just
gonna stop
use
you?
it on my stories, you know.
Yeah. Who's gonna
Where
stop you?
is Goofy Duck? Like that's things that were in my head that I had to release and like get it out of my head and haunt you guys with it because I hear it now. You guys are gonna hear it.
Now it's yours.
It's a jingle. Life is a jingle.
Is Goofy Duck like Donald Duck and Goofy making a baby or something?
No, dude, Goofy Duck. I did this booth called Designer Con, this convention in Anaheim, and I was just again everything's kind of based off jokes. We were like across the street from the happiest place on earth, Disneyland, and I was just talking to my friend how I talk. I'm like, oh, everybody's gonna be like, where's Goofy Duck? And I was like, oh, I like how that sounds. I made a sticker about it and then just did it. For no reason. Like, it was just one of those things that I'm like, oh, cool, I'm going to make a little jingle and just make it a song. Got on my thing. I was in my boxers in my room. I was just laying there with just my phone, just and just made the loop. The next morning, woke up, just sang on the Rock Band USB microphone. And,
I like it.
And it exists now.
And call it a rap. You know, so you also do art, right?
Mm-hmm.
How would you describe your art?
It was super influenced in Sandberg, you know, when I started doing it. When I used to skate, and, you know, we would just talk slang and just like, oh, that's grimy. It's like, so I started doing art, and instead of like when I started putting it out there, instead of like calling it like art, I called it grime, and I just put a name to the style of art that I was doing. And that's when Tumblr and all that stuff were coming out. So I was like, cool, hashtag grime instead of art, because it was like you would put art and you'd see like a million blah blah blah.
Easily.
Gets lost in the ether. Like, so it's just like, well, what? I don't want to do that. So I was like, grime. I started making my own hashtags, plugging these things that didn't exist into existence, like digital death and grime, anything that I did, new hashtag, you know, like I just create a new one. I'm not trying to jump on a bandwagon of something that's already there.
Facts.
I'm just trying to create some new, you know, so it's like the music is just a soundtrack to my life.
Got it.
Like I'm just making little intro songs for things that I do, you know. I made a Christmas song, like, I don't even like Christmas, dude.
Nice.
I was just like, I want to do a like ironic Christmas song.
Facts.
They're not great. They're not like anything like cool, but like people, again, they're like, dude, dope. Like instantly just like, this is funny, this is great.
You know, I remember the other thing I was going to say. We were talking about creating music, right? And, you know, people only care about how much you care about the stuff you put into it. And that's, I think, that you're talking about that, like, you know, if I really didn't care about it, then people wouldn't really pay attention. But even though you're silly about it, you still care enough to put effort into it.
I care a lot.
You know what I mean?
I say I don't care, but I'm like, I do. Like, I really want to, like, do, if I'm going to be an influencer, I want to influence good and not, like, trash, you know? Like, I'm like, there's already enough trash out there. Like,
Facts.
I'm not trying to, like, I'm producing a TV show called Mas Fun TV, where I'm just, again, me and my partner are, like, distributing this stuff ourselves. Like, we're just making TV again. I'm like, we're just, because it is, and it's like, we're not putting stuff on YouTube. We're creating an app, or we have an app, and we have all these things plugged into like Roku and Apple TV, so you can literally download this, so it's real TV. Cool. So we're making all the content and everything ourselves, and like all the animation. So we're just like, oh, cool, I want to do a cooking show. It's just a network, you know. So it's like something that we started ourselves independently, just cause I'm like, we're bored and we wanted to do it, and that's where my music goes, you know. It's sounds because it's all connected. It's all original. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's like cool. Like you can just create this stuff. It's all your copyright, you know. So it's like now we can't use anything. So I'm like, cool. I make stuff with the intention that I'm going to use it for my stuff. You know.
I love it.
And it's just like cool. Like I can just like all this. It's just marketing at the end of the day. I just know how to market a lot of this fun, you know. Like,
I love it.
And it works for me. It's like cool. Like I can express myself in that way and that way and that way and sell a T-shirt. Like, cool. Like it's more than selling a shirt, you know. Cool. Yeah, I think this is more like we can do something good with these tools that are given to us for free, you know, instead of like just doing cool stuff. I'm like, let's be impactful, but really to spread fun.
Definitely, and life and love and joy.
I hope that translates well with the music and everything, because it's very like emo, but it's like it's not supposed to be, you know.
Well, you know, I think this is why we have to have conversations so people can actually hear your intent directly, right? Now people can be like, oh, I thought he meant this, but this is what's really going on in his mind. This is what he really wants, and now there's no confusion.
I'll go downstairs later, and 2 or 3 people will go, dude, thank you so much, that was cool.
Yeah.
And that's all. Like that's it, dude.
Sometimes you just need one person.
It'll be maybe just one.
Yeah, that's all you need. I'm definitely going to talk to you more about the Moss TV. I think that's very interesting.
Yeah, download Moss Fun TV.
Yeah.
It's available on most streaming platforms.
Yeah. Matter of fact, how can people contact you so if they want to support the music, support the art, even get the Moss TV?
My number is 555. Just kidding.
A lady might say, pay $10 to continue.
You know where I live, dude. Just kidding. On Instagram, it's just Deladosa. Everything's Deladosa on all platforms.
Can you spell that out for them, please?
DELADESO. See that? How I almost turned into a jingle. I wanted to start singing.
Oh, hey. Wait,
I'm just kidding, dude. I'm just kidding. But yeah, thank you for having me, dude.
No problem. Thank you, Della.
Dude, pleasure.
Appreciate you.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Catch you guys next time.
Bye.